one of the basic exercises that forms a whole heap of exercises and basic to go on to things like plank is called quadruped, and very traditionally you would have seen it through the old style Jane Fonda workouts where we're going hands and knees in and out. We're going to go through just basic quadruped today, how to do it well, what you should be doing when you're doing quadruped, and when you hit some of our more advanced workouts with quadruped, remember this as your baseline. Okay, so with quadruped, your hands and knees, hands should be underneath your shoulder joint and your knees should be underneath your hip. So we're not talking that way, we're talking underneath the centre of your hip. So when you're in line, technically they might even be in front of your bum cheeks. Okay, you want the weight on your tibia, because if your knee's too far back, you're going to put weight on your knee joint. So that's the one thing to be aware of. Get your knee set up well, and then you want your hands set up underneath it. In terms of tail position, you want to make sure that you're not too arched or that you've got your tail tucked under. Your tail should be relatively in neutral. So imagine that you've got a wine glass or a glass of beer on your sacrum. You don't want to lose that glass of beer. And shoulder-wise, you want enough energy pushing away from the mat that we haven't got shoulders here. They're in a good position. One of the major issues we find with quadruped is wrist pain. So if you feel that you want to put your weight on your knuckles so that your wrists are in a good position, that's fine. The other alternative is just to roll up your mat and have your hands at the end of the mat so that you don't have as much bend. Some of the other things that can help is if you've got a bigger weight, that you then hold on to the weight and use them in that position there. Or there are some push-up handles that might help. So I'm going to do mine on my knuckles, just so you can see a modification. So start position, arms are coming out forwards, legs are going out backwards. The idea is that this doesn't move. Okay, so we're going to take a breath in to prepare. As we exhale, move your arm forward. As you're moving it forward, we shouldn't lose you, or we shouldn't lose you this way. Okay, so breath in to prepare, shoulder blades stay strong, exhale, arm comes up. Now if they lift the arm too high, the tendency is that you're going to arch the back, especially if you have a stiff shoulder. So I would rather you go low and keep the position than go high and lose the shoulder. Okay, so breath in to prepare, arm comes forwards, inhale to come back. We're thinking about not much movement coming through and away from the arms, and not much movement coming from here, not much movement side to side. Okay, so as you move the arm, there shouldn't be a lot of translation in the trunk. So breath in to prepare, exhale, reach forward and long as opposed to up and high. Hold, inhale, bring the arm back. Breath in to prepare, as you exhale, float the arm forward and long. Hold, inhale, arm returns. Okay? To go through the legs at the back, we're taking a breath in to prepare, and same thing. There shouldn't be a massive shift of your body weight. We're just moving the leg along the floor and up and back in without this. So the big thing that we're looking for is that this section stays still and we don't lose it into an arch. So as you exhale, if you can lift the legs straight off the floor, great. If you feel you need to slide it along the floor before you lift it, then please do. So breath in to prepare, Shoulders are pushing away energy from the hands. Slide the leg behind you. Lift as high and long as you can without losing control. Inhale, bring the leg back. Exhale, slide and lift, or lift straight away. Stay strong through here. Inhale, and you come back. Your progression, if you're new to quadruped, I would do 5 or 8 on each limb and just get used to moving. You might find you get a bit sore and achy around the shoulder joint, purely from a point of view that it's quite hard work on the shoulders. Okay? Your progression is opposite arm and opposite leg. So if you're new to it, exhale, slide the arm and the leg along the floor, as far reach as you feel you can, and then lift. Again, not too high that we get the arch. Inhale, come back. Exhale, slide and lift, hold, inhale, bring it back. Okay, changing sides. And inhale to return. Again, if you need to slide along the floor to get your stability and your balance before you lift, perfectly fine. If you can and you go straight for the lift, that's what we're after. Make sure you stay energy, changing arms and legs as we move, and make sure we haven't got too much translation side to side. So the idea behind your quadruped exercises, keep it moving with me, is that you're leaning towards length, so reaching the fingertips away and the toes away as long, as far from your body as possible. On the exhale to move, and we're not going high. So the old traditional fashion ones where we would do in and kick and do it quite high, a la carte, the 80s Fonda workouts, not what we want to be doing for tummy control. So about here, you should feel that your tummy resists a little bit and it lifts to keep the rib cage and the pelvis together. When you go high, you get that stretch. So we're not after, as you move, this stretching away, which is what happens when we arch. We're after this staying together. So you keep base of your ribs, base of the pelvis. Okay, so that's your basic quadruped exercise. Work on one arm at a time, one leg at a time, and then add in opposite arms and legs. That's your baseline for quadruped. In terms of things like why quadruped's important, it takes you on to things like half planks, and then it also preps you for full planks. Okay, so in terms of what it's giving you heaps of shoulder stability, the ability to place your pelvis in neutral and maintain it. It's working your glutes, it's working your hamstrings into an extension mode, and it's also giving you some static core, neutral core in that prone quadruped position, which is really important. So work on your quadruped. Once you feel you've mastered your quadruped, you can go on to do our quadruped series, but these are your baselines, these are your prerequisites for being able to do quadruped series well. Enjoy.